Morning, Abotai, Eid of Shabbat Shalom. Regarding what we spoke about yesterday, that beginning from this coming Motzei Shabbat will be in the 9 days, and the minhag of Am Yisrael is to abstain from eating meat during these days until after Tisha B'Av. There's an interesting discussion among the poskim whether or not, obviously, Shabbat is the exception to the rule. You can eat, especially this coming Shabbat, which is also Rosh Chodesh Av. You can eat meat as usual, no restrictions, no limitations. The question is, if you have leftovers from the Shabbat meals, are you allowed to consume those leftovers, just like leftovers of any other Seudat Mitzvah, throughout the week, this coming week, until next Shabbat, which is mutar again? So Maran Achida in Birkei Yosef Siman Tav Kuf Nun Aleph discusses this topic. He brings rayot from different sugyot and shas, and Maran Achida rules that any meat that's left over from Seudat Shabbat, obviously it has to be legitimately left over. You can't overcook with kavanah to say, oh, look, I have leftover and you're eating it the whole week. But legitimate leftovers from Shabbat is mutar to eat during the 9 days. It's not part of the Isur. Many poskim disagree with Maran Achida and they disprove his ra'ayot. La'alacha ul ma'aseh, Maran Zichron Bracha rules in Sefer Chazon Ovadia as follows. According to the letter of the law, if a person wishes to rule, if a person wants to be lenient like Maran Achida and eat leftover Shabbat meat foods during this week, says it's mutar for anybody, not a person who said, for anybody who wants to rely on it, it's mutar. It's better though to abstain besides for Motzei Shabbat. If a person wants to eat leftover meat for Seudat V'it of Motzei Shabbat, then there's much more to rely on, especially if a person usually eats meat for Seudat V'it, then it becomes even easier. But in any event, most people don't do it, but for a person who wants to rely on it, you definitely have on whom to rely. Now, besides for that, Maran Zichron Bracha writes that children during this week, since in general children are weaker, they're growing, they need nutrition, and it's harder for them to eat, other kinds of foods all week, dairy and fish. Sometimes they're not so into that. For children, a person may feed children, forget about leftovers, a person can feed them even fresh meat or chicken in order for them to have koach throughout this week. The same applies to those who are ill, to pregnant and nursing women that need more koach if they feel that they need meat. So it is absolutely permissible for such people to have meat during the 9 days. Have a wonderful day, and Shabbat Shalom. This evening we'll have the earlier minyan downstairs at 6:30 and up here at 7 o'clock. Shabbat Shalom V'urach.